darling. This is Eve Christoph, your love life muse. Stick with me for the hottest news and subscribe to this channel to get somewhere new. This is Eve's Eden. Have you ever noticed that some guys enter a room and the way women respond is you can tell that he could get laid with any of them? Have you ever felt jealous of a guy like that? I know I've seen it happen, and I just want to share with you a couple secrets what those guys have, because it's this silly thing that men think the reason for that is, oh, it's his physique, or it's his money, or it's his package. It really isn't. It's a very simple thing that people in, well, I have to say, warmer cultures than the American culture, much warmer cultures, or maybe Latin or African or even African American culture, have this understanding of the power of complimenting a woman. Now, you could say, I say nice things to women. I say, nice dress. Nice dress is tepid. It's almost an insult because you're complimenting the dress, not the woman. Americans don't understand word flowers, which would be that dress will never look as good on anyone again. It's found its destiny on a queen. Now, American guys, white American guys really tend to say, Eve, I don't want to go over the top with compliments because it's not true to my style. I want to say things you look good, which a guy said to me the other night, and I wanted to go home immediately. What a drag to get all dressed up, and he says, you look good. No, he should have said, you look gorgeous, you look amazing, wow. Anything like that would make me feel warm inside my heart and my mind. My body starts heating up. As cold as your compliments are is as cold as her body will respond to you. And as warm as you are is as warm as she will become. And as hot as your compliments are is as hot as she will respond to you. Now, I'm not just talking flattery, okay? I'm talking true appreciation. So most men, when I bring up this topic, white American men, I'm sorry, it's just not been my Latin friends or any of my African friends or any of my African American friends or any of my Indian friends. They all understand this, almost all of them. But the white guys will say, well, I want to be true to myself and I don't want to lie. To lie. What a heartbreaking thing to say. They're like, if she doesn't look like a model or this my one particular idea of hotness, then I don't want to lie. The other guys, they realize that there's millions of different kinds of woman's beauty, and they want to be part of it, and they want to bring it out. And if they say the compliments in the right way, they literally see a flower blooming in front of them. And when she gets so bloomed that her pollen and her nectar are flowing, he can have his way with her. I shouldn't tell you these things. Now, I don't want to lie also means he has no imagination. He's got this idea that, say she is kind of a homely that day, and she's ragged and been working so hard, and she doesn't look her best. But he says to her, oh, I feel your power. I feel your beauty in your whole soul today, in your raggedness, you know. You use your imagination to bring forth more about who she is. And this is the thing, when white guys give compliments and the white women respond with, you're harassing harassing me and terrorize them for giving compliments. There is a mistake, though, that most of the white guys are making, which is they'll say things like, nice hooters, or, wow, your booty looks great in those. They'll go so far over appropriate boundaries that it's an insult, because he's saying, you're so cheap. Any guy can come up and treat you like he owns you or like he's your boyfriend. No. So the word flowers have got to be more about her spirit, her being, her way of dressing, her choices. Okay. Second thing that the white guys say why they don't want to give compliments, they say it's because, oh, she'll want more and more. I won't be able to keep up. What will I do the next day or later that day? She's going to want me to keep being that way. How exhausting. Oh, how tragic for you white guys. Don't you understand that there's the warm cultures, it's a way of life. Complimenting the woman doesn't mean you're just complimenting the young woman you want to fuck. No, it's all the women. It's the elder women. It's the mamas. It's the sisters. It's the children. But you have different compliments for each. You wouldn't make a little girl feel sexualized. You wouldn't make a grandma feel, embarrassed. For her, you would compliment her, wow, you are glowing today. Oh, that dress on you you're gonna, bring joy to this world as usual, whereas you see the dress on the woman that is a little younger, and you say, like a guy said to me the other day, he said, oh, you're gonna stop traffic in that dress. I was coming across the street. It's a way of life. And when you water the roses of the women, all of them with nice things you say, I long for your eyes and your cooking. I just feel so fed by your presence. The fragrance of woman opens in your presence, and she starts to shower you. Now, have you ever noticed some guys, they have these relationships where the women are just serving them. They're like cooking for them and like pampering the guys when they come home. Now, some guys will think, I gotta make her do that. I gotta demand my dues. But the thing is, when you water the flower of woman, she becomes overabundantly fragrant, and she's got to give. Her fountain is untapped. That's in this book, this award-winning book called The Famished Road by Ben Okri. And he talks about in the forest what happens when the women are, their flower is opening in all of their hearts, how this beauty enters the house. The music is playing, the women are singing, they're dancing, they're wearing their finery, they're humming in their hearts, they're fondling their children's little heads, and they are in this intoxicating love when the men come home. Third reason that the American guys don't want to give compliments is they say, oh, she'll want to come home with me. She'll think I'm coming on to her, and that I won't be able to escape now. It's like leading her on. So I'm going to stay neutral and cold with all the women except for the ones that are my girlfriend, and even the ones that are my girlfriends I'm going to be aloof with, because I don't want to be too exaggerating, So you don't have to worry about that. Women can tell, or even if they can't tell, for a lot of women to want to come home with you is not a bad thing. You can have boundaries, you can say, oh, slip in something about your girlfriend or your wife, while you're saying this beautiful thing to her, and the only one who can kill that as much as you are, and the way you just sang that is my wife when she's singing in the shower. You can bring her in if you want, but you don't really need to, because women can feel. It's just a gratitude. It's just you being generous and sharing your masculine power through the power of heartfelt compliments, called in Latin cultures called word flowers. Little boys practice from a very young age. Word flowers open her heart, and crass come-ons make her slap you. And in the workplace, there is a way to just smile, like, oh, you look amazing. Give her a hug. These things make her day. Make her day, make her open. And the hotter your energy is with these compliments, and the more incessant and often, the more likely you will be laid that day. Think of it as foreplay all day, okay? Foreplay all day, by giving these beautiful affirmations, beautiful temptations, beautiful celebrations of women, all ages, and then you become the guy everyone talks about. When that guy's around, when he enters the room, oh, how we feel. And the two white guys I was talking to, telling the story to, about how I experienced this so much with white guys, they were furious at me, of course, because they are great guys, and they do both have the ability to make women feel more wonderful than most men on the planet. They're just hot, awesome guys. But they don't do compliments at all, and but they share their honesty and their presence and their equality. But I was saying, if they add in compliments, they're going to get laid a lot more, and they were pretty mad at me for saying that, But the thing is, it's really, really true. So I'm not trying to be asking you to be someone you're not. I'm asking you to develop more of your poetic license, your power, to warm her up, heat her up. and if you don't do that, and you keep having sex with women or your wife, and it's just a ho-hum, it's okay, it's kind of cool, you can probably bet on it. The way you spoke to her was nice and pragmatic and cool most of the day. If the sex is warm and comforting, you were probably warm and comforting. But if it's wild and sexy hotness, it's probably because you dared to express more of your appreciation and to bloom more of your concept of what you do, what you are grateful for in womankind. Okay, this is one of my greatest gifts to you. If you do this, you will become that guy who enters the room and just enflowers all the women. The woman in the background who was listening to me talking to these two guys, she chimes in suddenly when they're all getting upset, like, how dare you say this to us? We're the hip guys, we're the modern guys. I'm like, I know you are, but please listen. And she goes, oh, Eve, I started saying, when I went to the Miami airport, I get off the plane, I go through Bradley, Massachusetts, and Connecticut airports, and it's just cold and gray. It doesn't matter that I'm dressed to the hilt. No one cares. I could just be a neutered, I could be asexual the way men respond here. It's like, oh, and I get off the plane in Miami, and it's just like, oh, hey, baby, how are you? And oh my, that dress is amazing on you. And oh, I'd like to help you with those bags. Can I get the door for you? And it's just like, oh, I'm a woman. But people, guys are you married? How come you're not married? Laughing and joking, not actually predatory, like trying to trap me. They're actually joking and laughing with me and celebrating, and then my girlfriend, she hears me talking about this. She says, oh yeah, I went down to Cuba, and she said it was so overwhelming to feel like a woman and a celebrated, appreciated woman everywhere I went. And at first she said I was so scared, and then it was like, oh, this is fun, and this is the dance, this is the polarity. And really, if you think about it, the whole world is balancing on the polarities of opposites. We need the feminine and masculine to be okay to be different from each other and to celebrate each other. And without that, we fall apart. Our relationships, they disintegrate. So you really, really, really need to build this power of the polarity, okay, by taking my advice and don't even worry. Take your fears aside. The other thing is this thing about, I just want to be honest. I don't want to lead her on. I don't want to have to do this all day. That's total self-centered thinking. It means you're only thinking of yourself. So these guys who spend time giving incredible compliments to women all day, the thing is, they're actually thinking of other people. They're thinking of her. They're thinking of the women that are feeding them and taking care of them and raising the children and making beauty. And when a man focuses his energy outwards towards a woman and on others, it shows he's not selfish. For one thing, it shows that he has the capacity to give to life. He is giving to life when he compliments. And also, this power of the masculine to focus. When she feels his focus upon her, his true 100% focus, even if it's just for a few moments. This was one of the things they used to say about Obama and Clinton, President Bill Clinton, is in his presence, women felt just this wash of warmth all over them, that, oh, his attention is totally on me. That's a magical thing to take your laser Shakti and beam it in towards her with a positive incantation. It's like a spell or a prayer. When you compliment in this particular way, it becomes a spell that makes her more beautiful from then on. She literally, around you, her beauty will always come forward. And even in her life, it starts to bloom more and more because she remembers that you saw her that way. She remembers she felt like a woman for once instead of an asexual goddess. How can you be a goddess when you're asexual? Oh my goodness. Talk. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful, beautiful compliment of being with me all the way till right now. I love you for that. I love you.